Hi, color teams. It's me, Michelle,
Hi guys, it's Casey.
and we're super excited to make our first virtual team meeting today. There'd been a lot of talk about us trying to do team meetings, and that feels like way too much with all the hard work you're doing. So we thought we would take the ideas and announcements that we would normally bring to you in a meeting um, and just record it. In the email that you received, you'll have the link to this video as well as the link to the meeting notes so that at the end you can add in your own personal information for the content web. Okay, ready to get started, Case?
I think so. I don't know. I miss our team so much. I miss sitting down and talking about kids and just connecting. I think that might be, I just am grateful that we're here doing it in whatever way we can.
Absolutely. I know. I miss our beautiful K5 office with all that light. It would be a beautiful day for a team meeting. But this is what we'll do instead.
I know I had to go outside with my own view, but let's see. I'm repping the family, like ready.
Okay. Oh, and I have a wild toddler right outside the door trying to come into the movie. So hopefully we'll be able to get some private time here. All right. So first order of business on the Ohana announcements. So you guys sent me in a ton of golden ticket names. While we only picked like one or two from each team for like the class meetings, I personally wrote one for each and every kid, and they're all going out in the mail. So I'm probably mailing out 30 golden tickets here this week. So thank you so much for all of your kind words. A lot of unexpected kids got them, and I think it's going to feel really good for kids to get those in the mail.
I really especially liked how Matt spoke specifically to what we were celebrating about that student. I thought that was really meaningful and great. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the class meetings, but that was great.
Yeah, if you haven't, I think Erin's sending them out to all staff because they're on each individual classes page. They're not on the AT site. So yeah, so then also next, I don't know about you, Casey, but I've been in a lot of meetings with a lot of people. And so I've been hearing a ton of really good ideas and things that people are doing that I don't think we all get to share because we're not having lunch together or meetings together.
Yeah.
So we wanted to share a couple things that we've been hearing about. Casey, do you want to talk about Gina's?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time. We're on a bunch of leadership teams, and so we get to hear all the conversations and the good ideas that people are having because we're always trying to brainstorm those and share. And one of the things that a conversation between Gina and another teacher was just like, well, are you calling your kids? Are you reminding them about your time meetings and your class team meetings? And so Gina's just doing a great job of like getting on the phone and calling up kids and saying, hey, remember we have a Zoom thing, or remember you have this. And so just kind of reminding or maybe harassing the kids a little bit to show up, that we notice, we notice when they're there. So that was just one great thing. And I think once you get in the rhythm of doing that, it feels good.
Well, I think maybe just remembering that kids are still kids and their executive functioning is still not high. And so they need a reminder, just like we would be out in the hall being like, hey, don't forget to come to class.
Yeah.
Come on, it's second period. They might just need that little extra reminder on Zoom as well. We hear that Nicole is sending out postcards to all of her little students in addition to multiple emails. And I think that personal touch just is so sweet.
While we support the U.S. Postal Service.
That too, I guess. Did you hear that? If you like, everybody bought a book of stamps, that like we would be out of all the troubles we're in.
Buy your stamps.
Go buy your stamps. And then I was in a meeting with Alex the other day, and she spoke to something that I hadn't thought of. So she's having Sandra and Sonia translate her big emails home, like, hey, you're failing, you need to do stuff, into Spanish. And then at the end of the message, she's saying, you can reply in your home language. And when she sent that out in health, she got 15 replies in Spanish from the moms being like, my son will participate. This will happen. So I think remembering that we have a huge language barrier and these parents are reading these emails, but if they're not in Spanish, they can't necessarily read them. And Sandra and Sonia are awesome. Also Maria or Jessica, Priscilla, anyone to translate would be amazing. So I thought that was a good idea.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right. So you might be wondering, gosh, we haven't had any ninth grade stuff. So what's Michelle been doing? Um, Obviously, because you're just wondering
What
what
have
I'm
you
doing.
been doing, Michelle?
Yeah, thanks, Kay. So, well, let me tell you, I have been on the outreach team. So we have organized, as you've seen many emails, a full-on outreach brigade. And so first we went through and did the AT survey, and we have all but about 24 kids in our school who have let us know that they are well. Or if they're not well, we have helped them to get well or be in a better life situation. So we have been working really, really hard on that. And now we're moving to phase 2. You may have seen on Monday my spreadsheet that went out with the core grades that were just live in the gradebook in that moment. And now we're calling all those kids. So we have Sandra and Sonia calling home on Spanish speaking families. Mariah is doing seniors, Dee is doing juniors, and then Ian, Shauna, and Michelle are doing sophomores, and then all the grad mentors are taking over freshmen by caseload. This is huge because, there's like 150 kids in each grade that we're talking about here who have at least one F. And so I anticipate you experiencing a large rush of kids coming to you in the next 27 days that we have of school.
Which they would anyway. That's when they show up anyway, right? But I think that these kiddos are maybe kiddos that you haven't seen at all, which is really exciting, and what a beautiful opportunity to connect with them. I mean, I'm so excited to see who we get, who shows up.
Yeah. And I think too, like, just remembering, like, these kids. So you have a kid who hasn't been to school in 7 weeks, possibly since the beginning of semester 2, and something has sparked within them, whether it's their mother or themselves or their grad mentor or another person, and they're asking and showing up at your door. And I just really want to encourage you to greet them with open arms. It's going to feel weird, maybe. Like Erin, we were talking to Erin yesterday, and she said, "Hey, this student showed up. I've never met him. What should I do?" And we really had to think that through together as a team, and just um, talk. How do you say, "Hey, I'm so happy to see you"? And we talked about having, like, oh, maybe if you've never seen someone, you have to do a Zoom meeting with me just to introduce yourself. Um, and then kind of come up with a very clear path to passing that class.
And this particular student has been through so much, and I happen to know his story, and so I was able to provide her some information that was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense, right? So I would just assume at this point that anybody who shows up is basically like has a huge story that explains why they haven't been here, even if you don't know what it is.
Right. Another thing that kind of seems to be coming up is like, how much is too much or not enough to earn the grade? And one thing I think we should try to always, maybe not always, or at least kind of try to remember, is that if a kid was passing before we left, so before the quarter grades, that was only a very short amount of work. So even if a kid is stepping in for the first time, we want to kind of make it about an equal amount of work because we don't want to do any harm. We shouldn't expect more.
Right.
We want to expect equal, if not less. Even I think Matt has been pretty clear that we need to kind of cut our expectations down, just because we don't know what's going on, you guys, at these kids' houses. I can't tell you how many kids are taking care of all their siblings and working. And we were talking to someone the other day whose uncle died, and it's her aunt just had a brand new baby. So she's like caring for a newborn while trying to do online school and dealing with all the grief and loss. I mean, we're really talking about some heavy stuff that we and them can't control. And so just being reasonable and being kind and checking in with kids. So
I think too, there's this idea of like, just if we think about building a bridge to next year, like what does this look like when they come back, and what can we do right now to create a warm space for them to return to when things are more normal, and hoping that we have them now. Like if we treat them with as though they're getting opportunity. And I mean, you guys are so good at this. I don't even worry about it, but like, just really understanding that like anything we do for them is a foundational building block for what they are going to be able to do when we're back in a more normal situation, and maybe in a new way that they never have before. So this is not the sum total of everything. This is just like one little piece of what we hope to be, a more successful school experience for our kiddos who just never see themselves as being students.
Yeah. I had this thought yesterday that some of our students have not passed a math class in like 3 years, and they have told themselves this narrative of like, I can't do this, I don't, and so they disengage, they don't even come, or they do come and they don't. And what could happen if they reached out to their teacher today and said, hey, I want to try to do this, and they're taking a risk because their friends weren't there was no one telling them that, and in fact they had someone in their ear saying, yes, you can, give it a try, there's no consequence to trying, it's just try it. And gosh, like if they could get that one little pebble of success, then what could we start building next year, and how could we start just shifting their mindset around themselves as a student? And that would be amazing. And I think this comes from the fact that we have this outreach team calling every single day until they get to someone. We've never really reached this deep before, down into the families.
Next, they're going to the homes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what comes next. So first we call, and then after about a week, then we're going to start doing home visits and finding these students. And again, this is something that we can learn from, and that if we find success in doing some things differently during remote learning, and we find that this is awesome, that's great. Maybe next year we can bring this into our practice and help to get kids engaged in a different way, and bringing them to you. And so I just hope so much that you're ready for them, and that you're, excited, just real excited.
And I would just say, and I think we have this mentioned down below, maybe, but the administrators are ready to provide any coaching or support. Like if you're feeling they've been incredible, and they're all on the same page about, like, as far as grading is concerned, no workload and expectations and things like that. And we've had multidisciplinary teams meeting together to really process through this stuff. And so they have a real clear vision about what that is. So if you're having any uncertainty at all, go to their office hours. They are ready and able to help, to reassure, to invigorate you with some energy around reaching out to kids or working with the kids once they're there. So really do lean in on them. They have a lot to offer right now, as far as clarifying the vision, clarifying, like, if you feel like this just can't possibly be enough for a credit, like I don't feel 100%, like just drop in on one of them and run it by them and see what they say. They'll either say, yeah, that's perfect, or add a little this, or take a little, use them.
Yeah, they're really great. And also a hot tip, if your MyTel is not working and you want it to work,
Michelle, we can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
No, I can. Yeah, you got muffled or something.
Oh, maybe I touched something on my computer.
No, you're fine. It was like muffled.
No one has in the history of my life not been able to hear me, so that's like crazy. So anyway, long story short, Lakeisha is very good at MyTel, and so she is more than happy to help you trying to get your phones up and working. Anything with facilities, Dennis is great for that. Doug, if you need optimism in any form, gosh, he's just so great of thinking of this through a lens of positivity and positive reinforcement. So like Casey said, lean in on them. They're just sitting around waiting in their office hours. So just like we would do at school, if you're walking up to the front office and you just want to bounce an idea off someone, same principle applies. Yes. Let's see, where are we at here? We're wrapping up. So Casey, would you like to do the counseling update?
Counseling update, content with time from counseling. Okay. So we are still just getting the forecasting cleaned up. It's mostly done, and we are going to be opening up the window for students to look at their course requests in the next couple weeks. So we'll be working on any changes that students are wanting to make. Usually it's just a little bit of shuffling around of electives, but there might be some level stuff, in which case I would be reaching out to you all. And I don't know if you guys have seen any of this wellness team content, but I hope you're all going to come to Yoga with Priscilla on Friday. Oh my gosh, Priscilla's a yoga instructor from the past, and she's just the most beautiful human. So I cannot wait to share in her practice with her. There's a thing Wednesdays. They're going to be doing a little lounge hang out today. I don't know if you guys will have this by then, but they're just reaching out to kids. So if you have kids that you're worried about, please send them to the counselor, and we will make sure that they get to the right person on the wellness team. So that's kind of what we're up to. A lot of emailing, a lot of all the usual.
Yeah. So here's our ask from you. So down below, you will see content with my team. I just did 9 and 10 on the same. And we just kind of want you to think about kind of the 2 or 3 type of kids that we have remaining for the rest of the year. We have kids who are passing out the April report card and they have brought up their grade already, or they have brought up their grade already to passing. What kind of stuff are you having them work on? We're just curious. We want to look at their caseload, and it's easier for all the support team if we just have it in one place. We're looking for, if a student is currently failing, what might they need to do to pass your class?
You're muffled again.
Oh yeah, I know what I did. I figured out where the microphone is. So if a student is currently failing, what might they need to do to pass your class? And then another question I have for you to consider is, if a student who has shown up who's done absolutely nothing, what do they need to do to pass your class? And is that same or different than if you were engaging before? And there's no right answer there. I just would love to see your thoughts on that. So please take a moment to fill that out. Another thing is, if you wouldn't mind, if there's something you want us to talk about, we're going to try to do this every 2 weeks. We have about 4 weeks left, or 6 weeks left, so we can get a couple more meetings in. What might you want to talk about? We can talk about it. We can get some guest speakers in. We can pull some more meeting people in. If you want to come and be on a meeting, then that would be fun. You're invited, everyone. Yeah, so we'd love to have you. Love your thoughts. Love to hear any cool ideas of things that's working for you. You could even add them into this meeting if you'd like. Yeah,
I would definitely say if you had any awesome successes reaching out to kids who or students who we hadn't expect to hear from, like drop their name in here so we know they're around and about. I can follow up with them. We can, that'd be really great.
Yeah. Well, we miss you guys, and I can't wait till we can have our normal life back and our normal meetings. Probably never going to be normal again, but that's okay.
Although maybe we can have them on my deck because it's very nice out here.
That's true. Maybe next time I'll go on my deck too, and then we can have a double decker. Double decker. Okay. Bye, guys. Talk to you later. Okay. Oh, I need to stop recording, I think. Wait. Uh-oh. Okay. Bye again.